Welcome back, my wonderful kindergarten and first grade artists. So you should have listened to the story of Life Doesn't Frighten Me, which is a poem written by Maya Angelou and paintings done by Jean-Michel Basquiat. So this piece is a collaboration between two artists, a visual artist and a literary artist. And I believe that Jean-Michel Basquiat had already passed away by the time Maya Angelou had written this book. So Maya took the images, she was inspired by the images of Jean-Michel Basquiat. So she took those images and created a story around Jean-Michel's artwork. Now, Jean-Michel's artwork is inspired by New York and all of the sights and the sounds. He thought New York was rowdy and loud and exciting and full of energy. So when you look at his artwork, some of it may look a little scary, but some of it is very exciting and energizing. He uses bright, vibrant colors. So today, what I want you to do, I want you to take something that you might be afraid of. So what you're gonna need is black markers. You can use regular markers or Sharpie markers, and either colored pencils or crayons. I'm gonna use colored pencils today. So what I want you to think about, I know that everybody's afraid of something, and that's okay. So the objective of this project is to kind of draw out those things that you might be afraid of. And maybe it's just something that creeps you out a little bit, but you're not totally scared of it. I want you to think of what those things might be and what they might look like. So, for example, spiders is something that a lot of people are afraid of. I personally, they creep me out, and so do clowns. And beetles with those big pinchy things in the front, centipedes. And I'm not necessarily afraid of heights, but the top of a ladder really makes me nervous. It's pretty scary being at the top of a ladder. So those are the things that I'm afraid of. So what I did to identify and draw those images is I just used shapes. So to make the clown, now I'm not making details of a clown. I just want a shadow or an outline. So to do that, I started with, looking like this black marker might not be good, but we'll see. So started out by drawing a circle for the head and coloring it in. Find a different black marker. Color that in so it's nice and dark. And then I just used an oval for the body and color that in. Remember, when you're using markers, you can use the tip of the marker, which makes a very thin line, or if you hold your marker at an angle and use the flat side of the marker, you can fill in wider spaces and it doesn't take as long. So then we used ovals, long skinny ovals for the arms, and the legs I did use the same. Especially because clowns have big baggy pants. So we can make these really round ovals. And then of course they've got those big flappy shoes. So what I did was I made a circle for the heel of the shoe, and then a big oval for the toe. Fill it in, draw your shapes and fill them in. I'm gonna and then give him a hat. You could do any kind of crazy hat for a clown. With a little puff ball on the top. And then I made some curly lines to show his hair. All right, so there's my clown. If I'm gonna draw another spider, I'm gonna use a circle for the head, make my shape, fill it in, and an oval for the body, make my shape, and fill it in, and then spiders have 8 legs. So we've got 2 legs that come out front, 1, 2, so we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs. I'm gonna make a little line. And you know what? I'm not afraid of spider webs. It's, if you've ever run into one, it kind of gets stuck in everything. It's like having a hair on your face you can't get rid of. So I'm just gonna draw a web. So we've got web lines. All right. I'm gonna put my ladder going this direction, kind of fill up my paper some more. Nice and wide. Make the other side of my ladder. Okay, you can make as many different figures and shapes as you want. Just remember, when you're making a shape in art, you want to start, or making a figure in art, you want to start with shapes. So circles, squares, rectangles, things like that. All right, so because this one is drawn, I'm going to work with this one. All right, so the fun thing about colored pencils is that you can draw over top of your figures. So if I want to lighten up these figures so they're not so scary, I could use bright colors like Jean-Michel did. And as soon as you start adding those bright colors, they lighten the whole paper. You can use white on top of the black. Maybe if you use white, things don't look so silly, or they can look silly. Reds and pinks. Have you ever seen a pink spider? I sure haven't, so maybe if I make my spider pink, it's not so scary anymore. Look at that, it's a pink spider. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh, and this guy, you know what I'm gonna do with this guy? I've got, maybe use a silver and give him a silver bow tie so that he just looks like he's wearing a tuxedo. See? Not so scary anymore, is he? Up here by my ladder, I'm gonna add some light blue clouds. So, and maybe down here. And then I'm not afraid of it. Because if I fall, I'm gonna fall into a cloud. So we're taking Jean-Michel's idea of making things that are loud and creepy and scary, and we're giving them bright colors to make them nice and light and fun and silly. So it helps trick our brain that there's nothing really to be afraid of. Okay, take your time to fill up your paper. Now, you might find that some of the areas around your objects can be easier to color with a colored pencil because you have thinner, you have less space to fill in. But as you get wider, you might find that you need some bigger areas to fill in, and that might be better use of a crayon. So if I'm going to color this area over here, I might want to use a crayon. So you can use both. All right, boys and girls, so when you are finished, don't forget to post your artwork on Flipgrid and have fun, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.